YouTube, what is going on? Back with my latest video. So today we're going to be talking about the grails and the fails of the last week in Funko news. So really excited to tackle these topics. I have 3 grails and 3 fails for you guys I'm going to talk about today. So let's get right into it. See what I got. Here we go.
Listen, been in the game for a minute, clocking in because it's time to get down to business. Stunting is a habit, on me I'm good at it. Asking around town, I'm known as the Popsavage.
Alright guys, before we get into this video, please smash that like button down below. Let me know you guys are enjoying these videos, and as always, if you're new to this channel, welcome, and hit subscribe button down below as well so your updates on my most recent content, and hit that bell notifications so you're alerted as soon as I post a new video. So if this is your first time tuning this segment, I started just last week, so welcome to this channel, welcome to this segment. What I'm looking to do every single week is talk about basically the ups and downs of Funko Pops news this week. Sometimes we'll feature some things I think are future grails, like financially, and just things that are dope in general as far as cool looking pops, and just the fails and the things I think were lackluster for the week. So last week I started with the ups. Today we're going to start on the downs so we can end on a positive note. So let's get right into those 3 things that I think were lackluster news from Funko this week. So the first thing I want to talk about is maybe a personal opinion, and I don't really hold Funko responsible or accountable for this in any way. And the thing about this segment is not me trying to vent or be negative in any way. It's more like venting, but not be negative in any way. I just think it's okay to be honest with things that you think that weren't done correctly, because that's the only way you ever improve. And obviously everybody's opinions are going to be different on anything I talk about, so if you disagree, feel free to drop it down in the comment section below. We all have different opinions, and feel free to express your own. But the first thing I think that Funko did last week that I didn't particularly like was the Mr. DNA Funko Pop. I understand completely why Funko decided to do this. It was something different, something unique, and something, you know, an underrated or underappreciated character from a particular popular movie. But I think sometimes what happens is you go down a particular path with an idea, and you get to the end of it and you realize it just didn't turn out the way you wanted it to. I think a lot of times when that happens, you scrap the idea. But it seems like Funko decides to still go forward with it and produce it. I mean, for me, this pop just doesn't look right. It looks like 22 from Soul, if you guys saw that movie, to me. It's just the black eyes. The black eyes just don't look right, or a lot of different characters that Funko decides to do, and it's not their fault. I don't know how they really would have made it with white eyes with the pupils like Mr. DNA had to make it look more accurate, I guess. I know Lego did something with Mr. DNA as well, and theirs looked a little weird too. So he's just not a character that was really easy to you know, translate into a figure form. So I don't really hold it against Funko as far as the execution of the pop. I just think it was something that they should have scrapped the idea, because he was not, as far as I know, he's not an extremely popular character. We definitely didn't need a Mr. DNA Funko Pop, and I think that's just something that Funko's doing now, is capitalizing on nostalgia and not always, you know, making the best Funko Pop possible and giving people, you know, well-designed figures. I think this Mr. DNA just was a complete miss. That's my own personal opinion. I don't know how you guys feel. I know it was, from what I saw on social media, it's definitely a mixed bag as far as what people liked, if they liked it or they didn't. But I definitely in the camp of thinking this one's terrible. But I don't hold this Funko responsible for this one. I just think it was a pop that should have never been made. So speaking of pops that shouldn't have never been made, the second pop, or second thing I thought was a fail for the week, was the glow-in-the-dark Ronald McDonald. So the reason why I think this is a fail is, first off, why is Ronald McDonald glowing in the dark? I just don't understand Funko's need for making pops glow in the dark, or flocked, or diamond, or metallic, or whatever it may be, when that character has no reason to be that way. There's no reason to have a glow-in-the-dark Ronald McDonald. He's not radioactive, he doesn't glow, nothing like that. And I just thought it was a really weird thing for them to release. So the first initial pictures of this as well had Ronald glowing as a green color, which at least looked pretty cool. I mean, even though it's a pop I never feel like I'm gonna have to purchase, you know, it was a pop that at least looked cool because the green looked pretty dope. But then it came out that the Funko Pop actually only glowed white, which made it lackluster even more to me. I think it is a different mold than the original Ronald McDonald, which I don't think that was really necessary to have either. The glow-in-the-dark one's actually the chase of the other version. But I just think in general, Funko is essentially double dipping. You have that chase out there, so people are going to have to buy this pop now if they want to get a chase in their collection. They're chase collectors. So I just think this was a money grab, and I don't really appreciate when Funko does it, and I just think it's a pop that didn't make much sense. They could have done a flocked one, which they probably still may do, or at least his hair is flocked or something like that make a little bit more sense, or his overalls, whatever Ronald wears. I think that make a little bit more sense, but to make him glow in the dark, it's just really weird to me. It's just a pop that should never have been made. All right, last but not least, it was a pretty light week. I mean, as far as ups and downs, there's nothing too incredibly terrible or great, I should say. But this one stood out to me as probably the worst thing I saw from this week, because it's just a growing trend that you guys probably already know what I'm talking about now, but we had the Stranger Things blacklight pops. So I think this is another huge cash grab for Funko. I get it, why they're doing it. You know, by all means, if I ran a business, if I ran Funko, all the things I'm telling you guys as downs, I do the same thing. You know, it's a business. They are trying to make money, and I don't fault them for anything they do, but from a collector's perspective, I have my opinions. And the blacklight trend, I just think is something that was really, really dope in the beginning. It was a really cool pops for I think the Marvel ones were the first things, and they were really special. You know, they had never done anything like that before. And for a while, even I think the Carnage came out second, and maybe the Ghost Rider came out after that. It was something that was really cool and unique that Funko did. But now I just see it going down the path of the same thing they did with Chrome Pops. And it's just going to be something they're going to do for every single line, which I get. I mean, if they do a Dragon Ball Z one or My Hero, a Disney one, I'm not going to be mad. I'm going to probably buy it. But I just think it makes things less special. And I'm definitely going to be talking about this in my Speculation Saturdays episode coming up soon, so stay tuned for that. I won't go into too much more detail, but I just don't like this trend of Funko taking cash grabs and making things less special that originally they made pretty special. It just kind of it's disappointing more than it is bad, because these pops, there's nothing wrong with them. The Stranger Things, I'm not a fan of the show in any way, but the pops look very, very cool. You know, if you're a fan of the show, you gotta buy them. They're really one of the better looking pops. So I get why Funko is, you know, essentially making this into a colorway that they're gonna do on every single line, but at the same time, they gotta space it out. If you space it out, even though it's something you're gonna put on each line, at least it feels more special, but it seems like they're just doing it back to back to back, and it's just something I hope Funko in the future does space out and make it more special again. Alright guys, and now on to the positives for the week. So, you know, this segment's called Grails and Fails. Sometimes I think there won't be necessarily grails as far as future dope pops that people are going to want in their collection, or valuable pops, but this one right here I think has potential to be one, even though I'm not going to get it, not going to need it in my collection. But we have the Old Man Steve Captain America Amazon exclusive. This one's pretty cool. I'm not going to lie, you know, I guess it's a spoiler at this point. But the end of, I think it was Endgame, where Captain America is resigning from his role and passing the torch on to Falcon as far as Captain America is concerned. You had that scene where he is Old Man Steve, Captain Steve Rogers. So I think that was a dope scene to capture. I'm pretty surprised we haven't got it before now. But I think a lot of people are going to want this pop. You know, Endgame's the most popular movie of all time, so having a scene from that movie is always going to get people's attention and get people to buy the pop. This is definitely one I can see being a future grail for Marvel collectors, Captain America collectors. It being an Amazon exclusive, it's probably going to release and restock a whole bunch of times, so definitely be patient, I would say. You know, don't buy it for exorbitant amounts at this moment. You can definitely take your chances to be patient for other future restocks, but I think this has all the makings of something down the line that may be pretty special, just like the 3000, I Love You 3000 Iron Man, I think could be special one day. But this one's definitely one to keep your eyes out on for. Not even as somebody who doesn't really collect a lot of Marvel pops, I still can appreciate this one for significance and future potential for a grail. So definitely something I think Funko did a good job making this one. It looks really cool as a figure, and definitely one you might want to pick up if you're a fan. Up next, another thing I don't collect but still can appreciate the execution Funko did was the Batman Day releases. I think Funko did a good job with these. You know, Batman's a pop that they have, you know, produced into oblivion. There's not much more they can really do with any Batman stuff, but I think all in all they did some pretty cool things with the Batman releases. You know, we got some Batman Beyond stuff. You got the soda, which I'm not a collector of, but I appreciate you know, the nice things that are done. And they also got a Funko Shop exclusive Batman Beyond, which is pretty dope. This is, I guess, the third one they've done now. I had the original one. I think there was one for a DVD one. It was metallic, which is pretty dope. Both of those was pretty expensive, so people who want to get a Batman Beyond, now's the third chance to get one. You know, 3 iterations of Batman Beyond is not too much, you know, considering how many Batmans there are, how many Jokers there are. So I don't think they're overdoing the character so much at this point. Hopefully they stop now. But definitely a good release. They got the die-cast Batman, which I'm sure a lot of people are going to want to get. And, you know, they had the Joker King and a few other art series ones that weren't terrible. You know, it's art series, so I'm not going to be a huge fan of them. But they did a real good job with Batman. It wasn't just like one pop. You know, they definitely thought this out for Batman Day, released it on Batman Day. And all things considered, the only fail I could say for this is they didn't release all of the stuff available for that day. I think some of them are on pre-order or coming in the future. But all things considered, I think it was a good release. They had a lot of things well thought out, and definitely a win in my book. Alright guys, and the last bit of Funko news this week that I thought was a positive, and it's going to be an eye roll for most of you guys out there, is we got some information about the next Funko NFT launch. So before you click off the video, just hear me out real fast. So they are going to be releasing a new wave of NFTs for Funko. I think it's going to be metal stuff, so most likely like Pop Rocks line. So we don't, as the taping this video, have any information on what it's going to look like, you know, what artists are going to be featured, or if that's even the case, who they're going to do. I know a lot of people wanted to get actually the Batman releases because Funko kind of teased it, but they may have just putting a random GIF instead of actually confirming a Batman release. But these are something I'm excited about. I've been buying a lot of NFTs outside of Funko ones. I post them every now and then on my Instagram if you guys check me out there. But I think in general this is a win for Funko. They're getting back to something that's probably going to be more popular with their audience as far as the rock bands and stuff. They always have a lot of popularity behind those as far as the pops are concerned. And I think this could be something that people are going to get back into, at least caring a little bit about what this Funko NFT space is going to look like. If you're interested, at this point, the crypto market has crashed as of today or yesterday. And a lot of the Funko NFTs are pretty cheap right now. I myself will probably buy another. I have 2 so far, those Casey Jones redeemable ones. If that's something you guys are interested in getting, some of the Funko NFTs, now may be the time to purchase them because they are pretty cheap to get a redeemable Funko Pop. Just thought I'd throw that out there for you guys. But in general, I think that Funko has a lot of things they can do in this NFT space. And I think this is a really cool thing to see, and hopefully they do a good job of making some characters that the audience at least cares about a little bit more than just being an NFT, and it's something that they will like to actually collect. So that's all I have today. Like I said, it was a light week, not too much news, and even the last best news, we don't have too much information at this point, but I will always keep you updated on this channel moving forward. So if you guys want to see more of this content, drop down in the comment section below. Let me know what you guys thought was the best and worst things that were announced this week from Funko, and in general, just let me know what's on your mind. So thanks so much for watching, guys. Hit the like button, comment, share, subscribe if you're new. Check me out on my Instagram at ThePopSavage. You can stay connected there too. And also check me on my second channel at Savage Breaks, where I do Pokemon sport card openings. Thanks again for watching, guys, and until next time, I'll see you later.